Hey there, welcome to my first video on firearms on YouTube. I'll just be reading from notes today. This will be a non-edited video, all done in one shot, so I apologize for it being a bit informal. But this will be, in a sense, an unboxing of a Smith & Wesson Model 18-4. Now obviously this firearm is used, so it's not as if I were getting the box brand new in the late 70s or early 80s. Before I go into that, though, I'd just like to explain a little bit about myself and how I got into firearms. I've been collecting for about 10 years now. I originally started shooting .22s and pellet guns with my grandpa and my uncles, and obviously my father. My grandpa was a Mass State Trooper, as well as a National Park Ranger. And all my uncles were in the Air Force, and I basically come from kind of a military family. I did not go myself. But that interest turned into firearms in video games, movie guns, that sort of thing. And ever since I was able to collect my own firearms, I've been doing it since day one. Literally the first day I got my LTC, I went and bought a firearm. So it's always been what seems cool. And more recently, but always in some form, revolvers, because I've liked them. Although I do like other things. But enough about me. We'll get into the firearm here. So, this firearm predates me, so it's not like I bought it new. This thing's probably got 15 years on me or so. I'm not sure the exact date yet. I haven't looked into it, but I know that they were made between 1977 and I believe 1982. I've also heard it went up to 1985. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that would be the Dash 4 of the Model 18, or K22 Combat Masterpiece. So, before we open the box here, we'll give you guys a little show. It is the original box. I know some of you're going to be torn between, oh, that's cool, and, oh, why did whoever save the box? Personally, I don't care too much for it, but I do think it is cool to have. I'd rather have it than not have it, right? It doesn't take up much space, so. All right. And actually, before we go into this, I'd like to say, I picked this up earlier today. I actually really haven't inspected the firearm. I purchased this on Gunbroker about maybe 2 weeks ago. And it was a little slow, the process dealing with this guy, but he was older, in his 80s, so I have no problem with it. But furthermore, let's just delve into it here. So, looks like some of the original paperwork to go with it. I'm not sure if this is the manual or the specs of the actual firearm. That's pretty cool. Maybe we'll keep that out so I can talk about that. Maybe warranty or something. Safety manual. This looks like some sort of maybe receipt or something. Warranty again. Sorry, and I should be facing this way. So you guys can see them, as opposed to favoring it towards myself. More safety stuff. All right, let's take a look. I'm not sure if that was the exact order things would be in or how it would be set up in the box, but I believe this is pretty much everything that you would come across in the actual box when you bought it. New, factory new. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the firearm here. Get the box out of the way. So, there she is. The Model 18-4. All right, so to get started off, it is a 6-shot cylinder, recessed cylinder. Obviously, it is a beautifully blued firearm. And you guys are seeing it here first, just like I am. Kind of just doing a little inspection, excuse me, while I do. And I'll blast off some information real quick and get on with the day. All right, so it is a 6-shot, .22 long rifle cylinder. with a 4-inch tapered barrel. Obviously, the cylinder is fluted, like most Smiths come factory, unless it's some Lou Horton special or some custom thing. Obviously, this is pre-sleeved barrel, so you got some serious meat on the barrel there, which, you know, I appreciate these old style barrels. Here, as you can see, we have the non-shrouded ejector rod. And then, of course, we have the Bowman, excuse my pronunciation on that, ramped front sight style. I much prefer this to the Partridge, I believe it's called. That's more kind of stand-up. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's a looks thing, but I've never had a problem with this style sight, so I do enjoy them. As well as a color case hardened hammer and trigger. The firing pin being frame mounted, but that color case hardening is pretty beautiful there. Not to interrupt what we're talking about, but I'm sorry if the viewing experience isn't that great. I am filming off an iPhone 15, kind of all propped up, so I'm not exactly sure how that will come out audio or visually, but I apologize for that. I'm also sitting here on a folded blanket on my floor, so like I said, this is pretty informal, but just wanted to get something out there to get started. Anyways, back to the gun. So it has a smooth trigger. This one is wider than a couple other triggers I have from Smith, but I do not believe it to be a target trigger, just because I have a 629 that has a smooth trigger like this, but it is a bit wider, and I believe that to be or the one on my 629 to be a target trigger, as well as target hammer and target stocks. Anyways, so got some checkering here on the top of the barrel before you get to the Bowman front style sight. Some checkering here on the sights, as is, and some checkering here at the front and back by the grips, by the grip panels. It's got the old style full-size cylinder release. I much prefer this one to the newer tapered down style. I don't know, I feel like you just get a better purchase on it, and I believe that it looks a lot better. This one not having the pinned barrel, I should say. I believe the last Model 18s that had the pinned barrel were the Dash 3. This being obviously the Dash 4, like we mentioned. But it does have, here, let me hold the thing correctly. It does have the recessed cylinders, 6 recessed 22 long rifle cylinder. This is a tapered barrel. I think I mentioned that before. But tapered, non-sleeved. Obviously, this firearm has a pretty beautiful bluing. Now, like I said, it isn't brand new. You can see small use marks and stuff, but I do believe the firearm to be in pretty great condition for its age. Nothing, you know, too show quality, but I do feel like I got a really good price on it. The man was selling his collection as he's older. He doesn't shoot anymore, so I feel like I did make away with a pretty good price on it, and I'm very happy with my purchase. We have these classic style wood panel grips. Not really too sure what to say about those. I haven't even checked to see if these are original to the gun yet, but I don't see why not, being as the rest of the things in the box and whatnot are original to the gun. And yeah, I think that pretty much does it. We'll give you another little look here at it. Thank you for watching. Actually, before we go, I had a Surefire X300 here that I'm using as a little I'm not sure if that will show up good on camera, but just to give you one last final look of the actual firearm with a little bit added light. This is a new hobby that I'm trying out, guys, with the whole YouTube video thing. So I'm really hoping that, you guys enjoy the video, because I have fun making this kind of thing. And I'd like to continue doing it in the future. And as a little hint to what else I think I'm going to be recording and potentially posting tonight would be this. Let me get this out of the way, or somewhat out of the way. This is actually my last purchase, and I won't devolve too much into it, but a 28-2 Highway Patrolman. But it won't be as much of from a review sense. Actually, today, earlier when I went to the range, I went to the range prior to getting this firearm, by the way, so I have not shot it. I had my second experience, let's see if I can get this, with a squib load, actually, from Factory Ammo, Magtech. I don't have to explain that to you guys, but that is a barrel stuck halfway in the barrel. A bullet, a projectile stuck halfway down the barrel. So I think I'm going to do an informative video on how to get the squib out. And I don't think I need to explain to you guys that that is bad. Not exactly excited to have to do that on a gun I've got less than a month ago. Especially one that's, from the 70s and a lot older than I am and still in great condition. But enough about that. Thank you guys for watching. And stay tuned for more stuff from me.